the morning.
Boo and Tony live.
Let's see, Boo and Tony live. It is now 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's my bad. I'm still on island time.
We had to get rid of it in the morning.
In Hawaii, it's 4 hours later. It's still technically the morning.
This dude's still not back yet.
We are here. My name is Boo Maddox, team lead with the Perry Group. Been doing this for about a year. We've learned a lot. We got a lot more to learn. Excited to be here as the #1 team at Real Broker, the #1 team in the state of Utah.
On planet Earth, my guy.
Planet Earth.
On planet Earth. My name's Tony Acosta. I've been in the industry for 12 years. I'm a principal broker. I've owned an agency. Now we're here at the Perry Group. So
I am not a principal broker, but let's roll it, Tingy. #1, here we go, for the day. Tingy's still learning StreamYard. Professional streamer.
It's there, it's there.
It's there. The suspense is building.
Just go add to stage.
It's election day. We're all a little bit slow.
There we go.
God, you had to pick the biggest asshole on all of Threads.
Hey, realtors out there, there's this dude, his name is Boo Maddox, has some outrageous takes on Threads. He is I don't know any individual on planet Earth that likes Threads more than Boo Maddox.
Hey, I've been having fun.
He's a great follow.
You can say whatever you want to on there. Who knew?
Here we go. If real estate team leads truly embrace their role, the coaching industry within real estate would be reduced by 84%. Hashtag realtor. Here's my first question.
Yeah.
Where did you get 84%?
I made that up. I'm not going to lie. Hey, it's the internet. You can lie and nobody can fact check.
That is an exact number. 84.76%.
You can lie on the internet. Nobody will fact check anything.
So dive into your thought process on that.
Yeah, so we have seen this massive rise in coaches. Hey, join my coaching club. It's $295 a month, and I got you. I will teach you how to real estate. But the majority of those coaches actually don't know how to real estate themselves. All that they do is help motivate people and hold people accountable.
Is that a bad thing, though?
I do think so.
I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit. Is that a bad thing?
And here's why. I think that the solo model for the solo model for agents is going to die in the next 5 years, and the realization is going to be that you will make more on a team than you will as a solo agent. So what does that mean? That means that as part of your offering as a team, coaching has to be included. Coaching has to be a facet of your business if you want to bring on new agents, inspire them to greatness, and help them sell more real estate. So if the coaching model dies, it's only because the team lead and the team itself can step in and fill that gap. Do I think that coaching is necessary for new agents? Absolutely. I would never be so ignorant. Maybe I'll post it, who knows? But I would never be so ignorant as to say, hey, you don't need coaching in real estate, because I think you absolutely do need coaching in real estate. I've had a ton of it. The reality, though, is it does not come from paid sources. I've had one coach in my entire 11-year career. Where the majority of the coaching has come from is within the team, within the organization, from people that are actually doing the thing that I want to do, not getting paid to sit on the back burner and throw out Monday morning quarterbacks and say, try this, try this, try this.
Yeah, so I do agree that team leads and the team concept should include coaching. Here's what I'll say though. What often happens, not always, but what often happens is you have an office of agents and the top producers undoubtedly get promoted to some sort of leadership. But there's a huge difference between being a good realtor and being a good team lead. And often what ends up happening is that if you simply put the top producers, but they don't have any leadership abilities, they don't know how to coach, they don't know how to teach, I think that's why a lot of these agents don't get the proper training. So the punchline is if you aspire, if you're either in or aspire to be in a position of leadership within a team, you need to learn how to be a good mentor. You need to learn how to teach, learn how to instruct, work on your public speaking skills. That has to be also a part of the broker/team lead training in order for it to be successful. It is not enough, in my opinion, it is not enough to just sell a bunch of houses. That doesn't automatically qualify you to then teach, but I think the reverse is also true. If you don't sell any houses, you shouldn't be teaching. So it's one of those, what comes first, the chicken or the egg scenario? But I see a lot of team leads out there that have zero leadership skills, and the only reason why they're there is because they have good production, but they don't know how, or sometimes they don't even want to be a coach. It's a totally different chair.
This feels like a little bit of a personal attack as somebody that only knows how to sell houses and doesn't really know how to coach.
Not at all, not at all.
So we're going to roll on to the next one, Tingy. Let's go.
Not at all. Okay.
God, you picked all my good ones today. Golly.
So there's this dude on Threads. Let me tell you about him. So here we go. If you're a loan officer and your value add to me is I'll close your loans on time and always answer your calls, your value add is nothing. Hashtag loan officers. Here's the thing. We were just talking about this before. Loan officers have a difficult gig, bro.
They have an easy gig.
You think so?
They have an easy
really?
gig.
No.
You have an easy gig.
Here's what I mean by that. They go out and they try to be friends with these agents, and either they don't understand the resources that their agency gives them, that their lender gives them, or there's just not much differentiation there. So what are they going to sell? And I think this goes back to the previous point, the team leads, whatever it is, the brokers of these lenders, whoever's at the top, teach them how to sell something. Like the reason why they say that is because that's the only thing they think that they have. To that you say what?
To that I say, if you're in coaching real estate agents and I'm trying to kick you out of the industry, go and coach loan officers, because I feel like that industry is massively underserved. Let me tell you what I mean. The amount of phone calls that I have received in my new position as team lead at the Perry Group. Hey buddy, I will close your loans on time. Bro, I got 1,000 loans a year and you're gonna close my loans on time? Thank you, Mr. Loan Officer. I was not expecting that.
Not special.
To me, the real estate equivalent of this is I will open doors for you. Oh, will you? As the real estate agent, you'll open doors for me? Thank you so much.
I'll put you on a hot sheet.
That's what I'm saying. You're doing the bare minimum. Listen, my expectation as the dude that runs the #1 team in the state is that you will close my loans on time, is that you will call me back, is that you will have a smooth process. That's not a value add. That is a given at this point.
That's a basic.
That is a basic characteristic of a loan officer that I'm going to be in business with. So I had a loan officer that actually responded to this and they said, okay, what can my value add be? Here's where I think you have to get niche down and be ultra specific. What you can bring to me from a value perspective as an agent and as a loan officer is going to be based on what your skill set is. If you have not identified what your skill set is and where you can create value for me as an agent and as a team lead, and say, hey, this is what nobody else can do in the industry. I have this very specific skill that nobody else in the industry can copy and paste. Do you want that on your team? What you're going to have to figure out is there's going to be a lot of people that say no to certain skills that you have. You're not looking for everybody. You're looking for 20 to 30 referral partners every single year that can send you 4 deals a year, and that's how you get to 10 loans a month. It's not a confusing idea. It's not confusing, but so many loan officers go to, we have in-house underwriting. Oh, thank you. Thank goodness you have an underwriter that you can call when my loan goes through. So if your value add is something that everybody else can offer, it's not a value add. If any of my agents in here were to say, hey, I can open the door for you, Mr. Buyer.
It doesn't
So
matter.
can 17,999 other people.
I totally agree with that point. What I would say is when people talk about a unique selling proposition or here's the thing that I can do that nobody else can do, how realistic do you literally think that is? Like, I mean, I feel like how many things can agents say that they can do that nobody else can do? So I think there are two ways that you can look at this. You can either try to find that one unique, super unicorn special thing that nobody can copy, or the way I've tried to look at it, because I don't have that super special unicorn thing, is the analogy I use is we're all on the same field playing the same game. I'm just a better player than you are. So is it that you want them to have something hyper specific, hyper unique and special, or are you just looking sometimes for better players?
That's what I think I would concede that point to you. I don't concede very many things to you, but I would concede that to you. Hey, put a coin on Tony's ticker.
Cha-ching!
Yes, absolutely.
I think about it that way.
I don't think that there's that many different things. Like if you look at what we're doing from a team perspective, there's nothing that we are doing that's entirely different than everybody else. My goal is just to do it better than everybody else. Yeah. So I agree with what you're saying. It's not a do something new thing, it's a do something better thing.
Correct. I will take that W and I will go home with it. You're up.
5 years ago, I was helping a client with a potential home purchase. But at that time, it wasn't the right moment for her to buy. 3 weeks ago, she reached out to let me know that she wanted me as her agent. She didn't have to, but she did, and it meant a lot. After a weekend of previewing homes, we found the perfect one, and now we're officially under contract. Hey.
5 years?
Hey. Very few people are doing it like this. Yes. So good for you. Tingy pulled the content down so I can't see who it was to give them a proper shout out. Damn it, Tingy, that's okay, we'll move on. But I want to hear from you because I think that you are the systems expert. I had my way of doing this and I think it was very different than a lot of other people. I want to hear how you are doing it to stay in front of somebody for 5 years so that when they're, I mean, first of all, most agents aren't still in the business after 5 years, so kudos to you, whoever this agent was. What are you doing though? What systems do you have in place? What is your focus to get somebody that's not ready now but might be ready in 2027, 2028, 2029 to make sure that they still call you as the #1 option?
No doubt. I love that. I think it just comes down to having good a solid, consistent communication mechanism, whatever that looks like. I think social media is a great tool for that, because for the people that follow me on social, I'm constantly demonstrating the skill set. They see me busy, they see me doing this, they see me doing that. And even though, or even if they're not looking to do anything from year 1 to year 5, they see that, and that messaging keeps you top of mind. So for agents out there, you have to find some way to be top of mind. You can do it through email, you can do it through social media, absolutely. And that's why I think that social media is so underrated.
I tell everybody, I think social media is the single best CRM that exists in our market today.
100%. Because agents, prior to social media, you had to make phone calls, try to find a touch point. What excuse do I have now to call them? Happy 4th of July. Do you know someone that wants to buy real estate? Well, now through social media, again, it's these touch points where even if somebody keeps scrolling, they saw you today. They may not watch the whole video, they may not like it, they may not comment, but they saw you and they know what you do. So over time, that relationship or that brand gets stronger and stronger and stronger, so that eventually 5 years later, when the moment comes to make a move, they saw you in their feed 2 days ago, they saw you in your feed 3 days ago, you are the name that pops up. If you don't do that, somebody else will. And the kicker is that you don't know when that conversation is going to happen.
You don't get to decide the time.
You don't know.
You just get to decide if you have been in front of them.
Correct.
And so I think social media is fantastic for somebody like me that is not a systems person.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a systems junkie. I didn't have a CRM actually in place until my wife came in and set it up for me 4 years into my time in the business. Right. Where I think I differ than everybody, and I think that if you could figure out how to merge these two worlds, you would be the top agent in whatever market you want to take over. One of my favorite sayings is that people don't remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel. You get an opportunity with these people, even if they're not going to transact for 5 years, you are going to get an opportunity to make an experience, even if they don't transact with you immediately, you are going to get time with them in front of them.
Yes.
If you are not doing everything to make that experience a memorable experience, you are missing out on a vital opportunity to be their person when they are ready to transact. So if you don't feel like you have a system in place, and I'm going back to systems even though I hate systems, if you don't have an experience in place to make people feel a certain type of way, you're going to miss out on a lot of people, because this is a game of timing.
It is.
The majority of people, like if you look at the recency bias that a lot of people have, the amount of cold calls that we have agents making that are all of a sudden getting the timing and hitting it just right, and they're saying, hey, you know what? We actually had a conversation with each other 48 hours ago. We are ready to transact today. That agent, whoever they talked to before, did not leave a lasting impression. Figure out a way to leave a lasting impression with people and watch what happens to you.
100%. I'll close on this. Sharon, president of Real, he talks about the 10-10-40-40. Real quick, this could be a 45-minute class. It won't be. 10% of people are ready to work with you today. 10% of people are never going to work with you no matter what you do. Doesn't matter. They don't like you. The other 80% is exactly what we're talking about. 40% of people would work with you, but they need more information. They don't know how much equity they have. They don't know what possibilities. They don't know the program exists. The other 40% will or would work with you, but they need time. So it's not in trying to hunt down that 10%, which is what everybody's doing. You solve for the 80%, that will sustain your business forever.
And most people ignore the 80% because they're focused on the 10%.
On the 10%.
Okay, last one, Tingy. Let's wrap it up. The housing market has been dead for the last month and a half. No showings on listings. No open house traffic, no showings for buyers. Do you think that we'll see an uptick of activity after the election?
So here's the thing, I feel for you. I do. My first impression is, dude, that sucks. I feel for you. But it's just not true. It's just not true. And I've said this multiple times. One of the big benefits that I've seen of being on this team is you see, it's very evident that that's not true.
October was our biggest month ever in company.
On our Slack channel, under contract, new listing,
we wrote
under contract.
So you can do the math.
So there is no excuse. There is no excuse. And so what I recommend is agents, if you're ever feeling this way, it's not the market, because if you go into your MLS and you check how many properties have been sold in the last 30 days, the last 7 days, there have been transactions, dozens and dozens and dozens of transactions. So you are not a part of those transactions. Why? You have to change something. You're not marketing properly or at all. You don't know how to have good communication with your clients. Your listings are overpriced. You're afraid to have that conversation. You're dreading waiting for a miracle. That is never, ever, ever going to work. So instead of blaming the market, Now you look at your stats, properties are selling, yours aren't, but properties are. You have to identify why. Audit your time, audit your systems, audit your listings if you have any. Have those tough conversations to get stuff moving.
If you think that my threads that I'm posting are unhinged, you should figure out how to find my replies. Because my replies are way worse than what I'm actually posting on threads. Here's my conversation with you, whoever this agent is. There is always going to be a reason why somebody is not going to want to transact today. There is always going to be a reason why somebody wants to wait 6 months. The reason that they're not transacting is not because of a market condition, it's because of your inability to communicate with somebody about why right now is the best time for them to buy a house. Is it always going to be the best time? No, and there's going to be people that need to wait, and hopefully you're like the person on the last slide, you have your systems in place so that when they are ready, they call you. But I think that there are so many agents that are just passive with this. Yes. They're just like, you call me when you're ready.
Please.
And I think, once again, we keep going back to what our value add is. Our value add as agents anymore is not, hey, I'll give you access to what's available in your market. That cannot be your value add anymore with all of the technology that we have in place. So what is going to be your value add? It's going to be helping people understand why right now, if it is the best time for that consumer, which I think for a lot of people, there's always a good time.
Sure.
Why is now a good time for you to buy? Because there's always going to be market conditions that say otherwise. What are you able to do as an agent to communicate why now is a good time to buy? There is a bunch of reasons why today is a good time to buy, regardless on what's going to happen in the next 12 hours with an election.
By the way, here we go. Before we go, don't tell us who you voted for. Official prediction. Official prediction. What happens in 9 hours?
Ronald Reagan comes out of nowhere, right in.
My official prediction?
Yeah.
I think Harris takes it.
I do too.
I think she
I
does.
do too.
I think she
And
does.
with that, we're going to end and we'll see how wrong we are. We'll see y'all tomorrow in New America.